This is Meraj. Meraj makes a living as a travel writer. He loves motorcycling, golf, playing the guitar, and just bumming around. He's decided to travel for a year to find himself. About time.
This is Johan. Johan is a photographer. Johan is Swedish, but he's lived and worked in 4 continents. He's done some pretty interesting gigs along the way. Johan's current obsession is shooting astral time lapses. He plans to backpack in India for a year of travel and adventure.
After all these years of being away from home, and it's been over a decade since I left Sweden, I still get homesick. It creeps up on me slowly, and suddenly, one day, I'll wake up and find that I'm dying to get back to the world I grew up in. Luleå is a city on the coast of northern Sweden, and boy does it get cold. When I landed, the mercury had plummeted to 25 degrees Celsius below zero. And to think I thought it was cold in Delhi.
In Sweden, and it's snowing. I am in my hometown Luleå, which is about 2 hours drive away from the Arctic Circle. Right now it's minus 25 degrees Celsius. It's absolutely freezing, but there's nothing stopping the Swedish spirit of getting outdoors for a bit of exercising, even in these temperatures. Now, the local city council has cleared up an ice road for people to be able to get outside on ice skates and a Swedish kick, which is a local way of transport where you have a handle and 2 metal skids where you can just glide over the ice. Even in these temperatures, nothing's stopping us getting outdoors.
I can't wait to see my family. Not that they don't know what I've been up to. WION Traveller is popular in Sweden, at least amongst my extended family. Close to our house is the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Gammelstad Church Village. Surrounding this 15th century church are hundreds of wooden huts where you can visit a cottage, take a horse and sleigh ride, and learn about traditional cooking using a wood-fired oven. Something I really miss from Sweden is the food. And I think everyone has a special place in their heart for the food they grew up with. My uncle has been flying small planes for 2 decades and loves to fly. I didn't have to work hard to convince him to take me up for a sortie. It's been so long since I was last here in Luleå in the winter months that I really wanted to get a bird's eye view of the city. We started a little bit after sunset and the light was just gorgeous. At about 1,800 feet in the air, we flew over the local steel mills, the city's central heating plant, the shopping arcades, and the tourism hub of Gammelstad that translates into Old Town. It was nothing short of magical. The town covered in snow, lit up by fading light, was straight out of a fairy tale. As darkness fell and the sky started twinkling, and Luleå's skyline lit up like a sea of stars, with us suspended in mid-air somewhere in between the two. I knew instinctively that this moment would stay etched in my memory. After a week with my family, it was time to head back to India. It's a long way off, Luleå is, and I've got some time to kill in Stockholm before I take my connecting flight to Delhi. While waiting around in the transit lounge, I hear about this unique hotel at the airport and decide to check it out. The Jumbo Stay Hotel is located inside a Boeing 747 aircraft. The decommissioned aircraft was stripped and its interiors redesigned to house a hotel.
So, this is the motor room. Sleeping inside an engine, inside an old jumbo jet, is a pretty unique experience. It is the only one of its kind in the world, and they just celebrated their 10th anniversary since opening. Oh, this is what this tiny room looks like. It is very small, obviously, because it is inside of a motor room. It is so warm in here, although it's -6 degrees outside. This motor room is keeping super warm, and staying inside of a motor room I can't imagine you can do anywhere else in the world. I mean, this is the only hotel of its kind.
The equivalent of the presidential suite, if you can call it that, is the cockpit suite that's located on the upper deck, and it is one of the 2 rooms that has its own shower and toilet. Guests staying in any of the other rooms need to share the facilities.
Very easy for me to have a shower here. I'm still 6'5", but it's just probably barely that I would be able to. So, in the middle of the suite is just about enough height, but it is such a different experience that I think it's kind of worth it anyways. All of this is also included in taking the cockpit suite, this giant kind of conference room or lounge area, as well as the outside terrace.
For curious visitors like me, there's a cafe at the front of the plane where they serve fika, a Swedish term for coffee and buns accompanied by sweet and savory treats. Right now, though, I'm going to stay inside. The hotel is less than a couple of kilometers from the airport, and a pretty atmospheric way to fill up a layover if you happen to have one in Stockholm. I don't, and I have to run to catch my flight to Delhi. Meraj, as always, has taken advantage of my absence and taken off to Goa on a motorcycle, if you please. I'm too late for the ride, but I'm going to catch up with him in Goa.
What's in store for me in the direction I don't take? Asked Jack Kerouac, the American beat writer in On the Road, his seminal narrative of an epic road trip across America. Yesterday, those words came back to me when I was considering taking off for a ride across India, from Delhi to Goa to be precise. I knew exactly the typical city weekend that was in store for me had I not taken this trip, which is why here I am, 24 hours later, basic necessities packed away in the panniers, riding a classic American cruiser, Delhi's murky skies already far behind me. There's never a good reason not to ride out of town.
Ready to rock and roll.
I'm riding with 3 friends, Veer Nakai, Ausep Chako, Parakram Hazarika. We're riding to Goa for the IHR 2019, an annual event in which Harley-Davidson owners from around the country ride to Goa. I don't own one of these machines, but being an auto hack certainly has its privileges. The plan is to ride from Delhi to Udaipur, on to Daman, Pune, and finally to Goa. 1500 odd kilometers, give or take a few. On a classic touring motorcycle like this, all those inputs are amplified superlatively. This isn't a small, nimble machine, and that suits me fine because it keeps my tendency to speed in check. A long ride like Delhi to Goa is best done placidly. We weren't interested in making good time, but rather the most of our time on the road and in the cities we stopped along the way. First stop is the city Johan and I were in not so long back, Udaipur. Alright, good morning people. This is Ausep Chako. Ausep Chako is a dyed-in-the-wool auto hack, writes for Autocar, travels the world driving exotic automobiles and motorcycles. A lifestyle so decadent, in fact, that to balance it out, he has to spend half the month in a little village near Kochi, where he helps his mother in her pickle business.
Yeah.
So the question for you, Ausep, is what is the secret of a good pickle?
Be happy and make it.
All right, be happy and make it. Okay, all right.
I'll ask my mum though.
You'll ask your mum?
I'll confirm it.
There you go. You'll ask your mum. Blaming our parents. As you can tell, Ausep not only knows the secret to a fantastic pickle, he's also adept at extracting himself out of one. Now. Oh my God! Is that Veer Nakai? It is. It is. Oh my God! Social media celebrity influencer extraordinaire. What do you think of this trip?
Oh, it's been brilliant.
No, not just this trip, but the route as well.
The route's great. I think for especially like motorcycles like this, it's the best route to do.
You like Harley Davidson? I take it.
For a long road trip like this, yeah, they're pretty decent.
Yeah, we are riding Harley Davidson, the soft tail range, which is kind of appropriate because that's what these bikes are meant for, right?
Yeah, they're meant for this, and we've really like chewed some miles the last few days, and I think they've been super fun. Let's see what the next few days are going to be like, because I'm in Bombay and traffic. And
Yeah, and thereafter Goa. Goa should be lovely.
Goa's always good.
Lovely. Fantastic. And finally, keep it down. Keep it down. And finally, man of the hour, Parakram Hazarika. Parakram works for Harley Davidson.
Hi.
And handles customer experience.
Yes.
Parakram has stitched this trip together for us. Parakram, why are we going to Goa and what are we going to do there?
So I'm inviting you guys for my India Hog Rally.
You already invited us. We're already on our way.
So I wanted to give you a little bit of experience, like not just attending an event,
Right.
maybe a ride, so that you don't get bored out there. You have a lovely memory to share.
As lovely as the Harley Davidson Street Glide is, navigating Udaipur's narrow streets isn't one of its significant virtues. So day 3 of our trip, we got in from Udaipur really late last night, only about 600 kilometers, but I think we really underestimated how much time it would take us, lots of traffic. And oh, I forgot to mention, we're in Daman, the Union Territory abutting Gujarat. And it would have been lovely to go out and see some. I have been here once before, but have to get to Goa. In my book, riding has always been a solitary affair, an engagement with the machine, the road, the sound of air gushing into the engine when you pull the throttle, the sputter of the engine and the warm bassy notes of the exhaust, the wind hissing past your ears. Motorcycling is sensory, it's cerebral, and ultimately, once you're not focusing on motor skills, they're even spiritual. You go at your own pace, reflecting, looking, enjoying the ride. Reached Kolhapur and they call this a katta, place where you get food and chai, etc. So I think the Harley dealer in Kolhapur has put this together. I remember this place last year and the food was just spectacular. Kolhapur has some phenomenal food. Anyway, it's just 11 in the morning, not really hungry, but you know, too good an opportunity to pass up. Okay, क्या है भाई साहब? मिसल.
वड़ा.
बटाटा वड़ा? अरे वाह. कीमा नान. Okay, time to head out and catch up with the rest of the gang.
Okay, I'm on my way to Belgaum, and from Belgaum you turn off towards Goa, so I'm going to leave the highway there. And it's a little forested area. It's supposed to be a gorgeous drive. I've never done it before. I usually go from a route that we haven't taken this time, so let's see how it goes.
Hello, I'm taking a break. I'm about 50 kilometers from Goa and you know, I've got separated from the rest of the gang. I was going a little slow, they were zipping a bit, and I just thought I'd enjoy the ride. I felt pretty chuffed about breaking away from the gang, burbling along the one good road, zigzagging down the ghats at Sawantwadi down to the coast. Almost there at the coast, and just thought I'd document this. What an insane ride it's been! Oh man! And I've lost the gang, and as much as I've liked hanging out with Chaco and Veer and Parakram, this last bit with nobody has been something else. And the glide! This motorcycle, there's a reason it's called the glide. Look at it, it just glides along. This baby is too much. Was it the bard who said, "Because you are lukewarm, I will spew you out of my mouth"? At the heart of it, I think the pull, or less dramatically addiction of two wheels, is about feeling alive, liberated, all that esoteric sounding, self-aggrandizing pseudo-zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance cant that riders like to bandy about. Statistically, the chances of an accident being fatal are way higher on a motorcycle than they are in a car, especially in India. Just as if motorcycling is not doing something soul-stirring for you, then what's the point? At the first glimpse of the ocean, I stopped, pulled over, and thought about the fact that I nearly didn't come on this ride. But when it came to it, leaving was easy, and the world felt, in Kerouac's words, suddenly rich with possibility. Right? And that, folks, is the end of the day. Khana khatam, paisa hazam.
As wonderful as Sweden was, it's really nice to be back in tropical climes. Meraj is staying at some fancy hotel in Kalingut, which is the tourist hub in Goa. His phone is on the blink, but I'm pretty sure I'll find him at the hotel's watering hole or by the pool.
Brother man.
Oh,
How was the ride, man?
Welcome, bro. Welcome. When did you get in? Last night?
You rode safe all the way? No speeding along
bro,
the way?
sit.
Your knees
When
are
did,
sore?
when did you get in? Last night?
Yeah.
Huh? Last night, huh?
Yeah.
It took you 1 hour to get in?
1 hour. Well, from the airport to here, 1 hour. The flight was what, 2:45, wasn't it? Or something?
It took me 3 days to get here. What a ride, bro. What?
But that's still pretty fast, 3 days all the way from Delhi to here.
Well, it's like 1,500-1,600 kilometers.
You
It's not
didn't
really
take much time to rest, did you?
I mean, I can't tell you how much fun it was, man. It was
It
just,
must have been insane.
yeah, it really was, man.
No rain,
No
bad
rain
winds,
and
no dust.
well, tons of dust and well, you know how it is. Riding in India is always a little slightly sort of nerve-wracking experience. So.
You know, when I came into this place, I roll into the parking lot and there's like dream bike after dream bike.
Did you
after
see the bikes
dream
outside?
bike. I was like, I want that one, and I went a little bit further. Oh!
Oh, I should show you the bikes. You
Yeah.
want to ride? I can arrange a motorcycle for you. We should
I will
at
not
least
say
today
no.
we can. Yeah, let's go around Goa today. What do you say?
Yeah.
Huh? Come on, show you the bikes we got.
Say no more.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
Wow, I've had so much fun riding these bikes in Goa. Can't imagine how much fun it must have been for Meraj to ride all the way from Delhi. Goa is ideal for a two-wheeler, but I think a smaller bike might be more practical. For me, these bikes are hard work. Time to catch a bite. The Anand Seafood Restaurant in Anjuna used to be a canteen for locals, until some tourists chanced upon it a few years back. Now it's a full-blown local restaurant that caters to, well, mostly tourists. But the food hasn't changed. The Rava fish fry is to die for, as are the mussels and crabs. If seafood is what you're craving for, then this is the place to indulge yourself. To end the day, we decided to stop over at Arpora's famous Saturday night bazaar. As flea markets go, this one is top of the pops. A melting pot of trinkets and souvenirs, street food, spices and apparel. Goans and visitors, turned together with a healthy dollop of susagad. The easygoing, laid-back philosophy to life that's always existed in Goa.
Full marks to Johan. I don't know any Indian man, and that includes me, who could pull off that very unique headgear. Johan, as usual, is very interested in the souvenirs, and I have to remind him that it's only his first day in Goa. There's live music playing somewhere, and it sounds like the place to be in this night market.
Found the band, and the revelers too.
On your wedding day, I'm gonna cry, cry, cry. What's this thing for?
The band plays on for an hour, quite commendable considering the singer has only one song in its repertoire. Something about the singer promising that he'll cry on his friend's wedding day. But no one's complaining. Far from it, there's plenty of singing and dancing going on. It's nostalgic. This hippie vibe used to be so pervasive in Goa once upon a time. It finally dawns on Meraj and me, we're in Goa this month. Sometimes this job is as much fun as everyone thinks it must be.
On your wedding